This was funny. A podcast I haven't seen in a while. We're still on Sam Morril, by the way. A podcast I have not seen in a while. It was TigerBelly. I kind of fell off the TigerBelly train after Bobby and Kalila broke up. Kalila just seems like a skeevy, conniving bitch to me. I'm sorry. Something about her just disgusting. You know? Putting Bobby through hell. But it kind of deserves it because Bobby's stupid enough to still co-host a podcast with her. So, I mean, who's the real dummy here? The reason I bring up TigerBelly is because Sam just had this special come out, right? And he just had this episode of TigerBelly come out 2 days ago. I think that's actually the day his special came out, as of the time of this recording. Now, usually you have a special, you go on all these different podcasts, you want to promote the thing. But Sam ends up getting his podcast crashed by none other than Rick Glassman. And I'm going to tell you right now, Rick, there's something about this Rick Glassman that he like sucks all the oxygen out the room. The second he walks into a room, he immediately is commanding every aspect of what's happening. Doesn't matter if it's his show, if it's your show, Rick is going to make something out of it, whether you like it or not. And it's going to be all by his rules. And he does, nothing short of that, crashing this episode of TigerBelly, which, mind you, once again, is supposed to be Sam Morril promoting his special. And Bobby fucking hates it. Watch this.
We're starting now. So, welcome to the podcast, episode whatever. My name is your host. We have Kalila in the room.
My name is your host.
My name is your host.
Look at that.
Like I said, it hasn't kicked in yet.
How much Ritalin? Bobby, you got to laugh with something new. Enjoy it.
Oh.
Wow.
That was a dig. I don't write enough.
What?
Is that what that dig was? I don't write enough jokes?
I don't know. You've said that to me once.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. So, right away, mind you, once again, Rick's not supposed to be there. So Bobby's already flustered. He can't even introduce himself right. My name is your host. What the fuck is happening here? So Sam and them, they're all like, they're just going with it. I'm surprised Sam's not more pissed. I'd be like, motherfucker, the special just came out. It's on Prime. I can't even sell the thing to Netflix. Bruh. I need numbers, man. Can you fucking get out of here? Please. But no, Bobby's the one that's really pissed. And Rick says, oh, no, I'm just bringing back heat that you brought to me back in the day. And Rick's he's going to just shit all over this thing. This is just 4 minutes in. That's how flustered Bobby is. He hasn't even done the introduction. It's 4 minutes in. Now we get to about a half an hour in. And mind you, once again, Rick is not supposed to be there. Watch this.
You should back me up on this because I'm being honest, and this is the truth. Am I being too loud for your dog?
I don't know, just in case. You don't like fireworks, I'm sure,
Okay.
TigerBelly is explosive.
All right.
Nah, look at that. Rick, he's just going to pull the fucking laughs out of whoever's around. He's going to pull the laughs out. And the one thing you have to understand about Rick Glassman is if he even gets a whiff of the fact that you don't like it, game over. Game the fuck over, because he's going to push it as far as he possibly can, because he knows he holds the power to end up commanding the entire situation. And Bobby's sitting here trying to bitch and be a prima donna, talking about old shows. I'm going to just do this. I'm going to fire this and blah, blah, blah. I think he's actually talking about, if I remember correctly, he's talking about a time where he ended up firing his opener for like being too dirty or something like that, without the club's permission ahead of time. He just ended up doing it. That's just it. I'm Bobby Lee. Listen to this.
So until I really took a look at you perform, I went, right? Because before, if you don't have a context, because they say there's 4,000 comics in LA alone, in LA County alone.
Wow.
Okay? And who knows the amount of open micers on top of that, right?
3,900.
There you go.
Thank you.
Bobby. So look at his face. This guy is fucking pissed. Sorry, Bobby. Rick has got you beat, dude. And he knows it. Bobby knows. He's like, I'm in for this shit for at least another 45 minutes. At least. And he doesn't want to put up with none of this shit. And look at Rick. Nice and calm. Because he knows, dude. He's fucking looking into Bobby's soul right now. And Bobby is fighting for his life. And let's see.
So anyway, right? So, I mean, are you nice to everybody? Because no. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Look at it. See?
Slime. What,
He even gets Bobby to laugh. That's how fucking strong this guy's comedic vibe is. Even when he's the only man that can piss on you and tell you it's raining, and you gladly open your mouth and fucking swallow all that bullshit. That's how powerful Rick Glassman is. It's a little sus. It makes you feel like, is he tapping into something that most of us can't tap into? Is he really like this ethereal being that's just like beyond the human spectrum? Like he's powerful dude. I'm telling you, he's powerful dude.
you're building up the slime.
No. What I'm saying is,
I'm going to
the
call
slime-
you Yorukusaki because you were covered in ooze.
Look at that.
So what I'm saying is that
Still getting him. He's just going for him. And listen, let's actually listen to that Bobby Lee story. This is kind of crazy. Bobby, he's always been prima donna type motherfucker, but this shit, he talks about how he brutally fires his opener at the beginning of the weekend, mind you. You're supposed to have the guy there the whole weekend. And he's like, yeah, you never did that? They're all like, no, we don't do that shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I've had that happen with people before.
But he doubles down the second show. What goes even dirtier? Because you know that rebellious thing when people tell you what not to do and you do it anyway? I've done that before, right?
Yeah, he did 2 grandmother pussy. He went back to back.
Both sides of the family.
Yeah, I'm doing all the tags tonight too.
Yeah. And afterwards, I walked up and I go, hey, dude, you're fired.
Wow.
Wow.
And he goes, you can't do that. I just did.
Look at that. Every single, both, you notice that? As soon as he said that, wow, everybody's like, whoa, dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? Sam's like, what the fuck? You know, a year ago, that could have been Sam. Sam wasn't selling tickets like that. 1-2 years ago. He's barely selling tickets now. God damn it.
And
he
he's supposed
just-
to be with you for the whole weekend?
Yeah. And he left.
Did you notify the club first, or did you just?
No, I walked up to the manager. I told this guy, he goes, I know. And I go, I just can't have him on. And she goes, I agree. And she fired him.
Wow.
Yeah. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You've never done that.
No.
Oh, look at that. Let's go back to that a little bit. So, right away, Bobby's like, you can do that. You're allowed to do that. You know that, right? And they're like, wait, what? No, you're not. You can't, without the club's permission? What are you talking about?
Wow.
Yeah. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You've never done that.
Look, even Sam, he's like, yeah.
And she fired him.
Wow.
Yeah. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Look at his face. Yeah. He's like, doesn't know how to answer that. He's never done that before. Because sometimes you just gotta, take your licks, bud. Bobby's like, nah, man, I stomped my feet around. I fucking fired him. I went on my back on the floor. I started stomping and screaming and kicking. And next thing you know, manager comes over. Yep, we got rid of him. They're all like, no, we've never done that.
You've never done that.
No. That'd be great if that comic became like a megastar.
That's
That comic
right.
ended up being Steve Jobs.
And there it goes. Not even fucking missing a beat. Not even missing a beat. Rick saves that whole vibe. Thank God. Thank God. Because Bobby is basically just digging himself into a hole. Nobody's on board with them at that point. So if it wasn't for Rick crashing this podcast, this guy would have already fucking brought the thing to a screeching halt 35 minutes in. Now listen to this. Mind you, once again, somehow we're not thinking about Sam's special. The one that came out on Amazon Prime, you know? We're supposed to be here for Sam's special. Sam's supposed to be here for Sam's special. And all we're thinking about is Rick. And I told you already, Sam's special was no good. Bruh. No good at all. And then he goes and tells this story about how like he can't follow his opener. And I'm like, the special, it's starting to make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? You hear these kind of stories. Guy's supposed to be a headliner, can't follow his feature or his opener, whichever one. You got problems.
I was doing a New Year's at a show in Indiana, and the guy his act wasn't strong, but his closer buried me every night. It killed. I'd never seen a bit hit so hard, and the closer was. The closer was. I went to a Backstreet Boys concert recently, and I thought, I saw them serenade a woman on stage and give her a rose and do a dance. And I thought, what if I did that to a guy? And he would bring a guy on stage and do a sound cue and start like humping the guy. And it was like,
Bobby, there's nothing wrong with that.
It was like a.
Nothing wrong with that. Rick butts in. There's nothing wrong with that, Bobby. You know? Now, Sam, listen to this. Sam's talking. Sam is a comic from New York City. He's supposed to be a successful comic from New York City. In the comedy world, it's like rap, almost. On the East Coast, you're New York, baby. On the West Coast, you're LA. Everything in between and everything on those coasts that's not those things might as well not exist, okay? Now, Sam's talking about how he's doing an act in the middle of Indiana. God knows what kind of comedians are coming out of there. Now, you're supposed to be a comic from New York. You're supposed to be slaying. This guy can't follow a fucking Backstreet Boys joke in the middle of goddamn Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now, if that story right there is any kind of reflection on what this comedy special was like, I dare you to go watch it for yourself. I dare you. Now, let's listen to how Sam handled this.
I remember
That's a funny bit.
I remember calling a friend and putting it on speaker and being like, listen to what I have to follow. It was like standing ovation level murder. And the joke is basically like, in Indiana, how funny is it to be gay?
Yeah.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
And it would be like 10 minutes of me having to dig out of this hole because my material just wasn't working after something like that.
10 minutes. 10 minutes. He had to dig himself out of that hole every single night. By the end of the weekend, he's like, I just fucking hate this guy. Can't follow him. Guy can't follow him. What's he going to do? Now, this is where Rick, right after this joke, this is where Rick really starts to command the room from them. And as far as it's concerned for Bobby, it ain't pretty.
Say something, all right, man. Am I being too crazy?
No,
You're looking at me like I'm going crazy.
I'm looking at you that way?
Yeah. Like,
No, that's just my face.
Whoa, hold up. Right away. Bobby, everybody's looking at you like you're crazy. Because you're still doing a podcast with a girl who's been trying to cuck you since the day she met you. Okay? This is not a chick that people really approve of in the public eye. I mean, I'm now that I'm looking at it, I feel like TigerBelly used to have 1 million subscribers on this channel. And it wouldn't surprise me that now that they're sitting at 903K, nothing to snark at. You know, congratulations. We are way behind that, brother. But wouldn't surprise me if they lost 100K just off of this breakup alone. So everybody, Bobby, is looking at you like you're crazy. Let's continue.
yeah, don't do this with your face, okay?
Oh,
That's what I like.
Did you guys get back together?
No, we haven't now.
Oh, well, then why you...
You're right.
Bickering.
My bad. Okay? God, I regret you coming on.
I can, honestly, I'm going to go.
No,
I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
I'm kidding.
There you go. See, now the truth is starting to come out. Bobby is like, dude, this has been going on for 40 minutes now. You're about to end up fucking my ex-girlfriend. This is bullshit. Bobby's like, what are you doing here? But he wants to try to play it off, and he's looking right at Kalila. You can see look at this bottom left-hand corner frame. He ain't looking at Sam. He's looking at Kalila, and he's got his hand out for Rick. He's like, trying to play it cool. No, I'm just kidding. Just stay. No, stay. Oh, yeah. And Rick's like, please, dude, come on.
Hey, Rick.
July 9th.
You have to.
Very excited. I'm going to go.
You have to say. So here's what I don't even know. Oh yeah, I know what I'm going to say. Okay, but it's not like there are.
So now, watch what Rick's about to do here. This is a classic alpha male move. So he says, no, I'm going to leave. Looks like he's about to get up. But what does he end up doing instead?
That don't have no, stay. Yeah, do that.
Look at him.
Jesus Christ.
Road comics who do what?
So there
Goes under the table.
There are some B rooms.
Yeah.
Right. They just how you have you ever been to a comedy club?
Look at that. This I couldn't. You couldn't embody Rick better than this right here. That's the vibe. Rick is taking over the show. And he's promoting his date, July 9th. I don't even know what it is. He just keeps saying July 9th. It's probably just a show. He's not filming a special, nothing. Sam is supposed to be promoting his special. Rick is not letting that happen. And now, Rick's dog has taken his place in the podcast. Look at that. Fucking hilarious. And Rick, I'm telling you right now, he just continues to flaunt his goddamn power. Watch this shit.
And then he would. It made no sense. He would always just like when the
Under
drum
the
solo hit,
table.
he would just go like boom,
Moving around.
and it would explode. I'm like, I don't even understand why this is funny.
Yeah.
But it was murdering. and afterwards I was like, hey man, is there any other thing you could do? You know, and it's just like really
Look at
not.
him. So now Rick is just shuffling around at the other end of the table. He's just like, and he's trying to crouch underneath. And it's obvious everybody's paying attention to him. They're all trying to have this conversation about Phil Collins. I can see it coming in the air tonight. I don't even remember how the conversation got here. Okay? They're all talking about the drums. And fucking Rick's under there just shuffling around the table, doing shit with his dog. Now, they just keep going about the Phil Collins shit. And if you think Rick is going to let them get away with that story without him having an input, you're goddamn sadly mistaken, my friend, okay?
Drowning. What a cruel thing to do.
Yeah.
Not lend a hand.
Because everyone's so focused on when the drums actually come in, and it's such a great song.
Yeah.
But like, I've always
There's
thought
drums
that,
in the
like,
song?
The drums are supposed to be his heartbeat right before it gets out.
Come back, please.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Look
What
at how
is it?
pissed Bobby is. Come back. He's like, are you serious? Because now they have to, Rick is behind the producers. So now they got to film Rick on the producer cam, which is shittier quality. It's this fucked up wide lens. You know, they got the other producer. He's doing the handheld cam. I mean, these guys, they get this extra handheld cam. They hardly ever use the angle. What's it all for? You know what I mean? You got this, you're paying this guy for practically nothing, okay? And only thing he's filming is the back of this other producer's head. Look at this. This guy doesn't even have the camera pointed at anybody who's on the show. It's pointed right at the back of this producer's neck. So now Rick's back there, and it's more distracting. Like when they go to cut to Rick's angle, they're gonna have the producers all in there, and Bobby doesn't want the audience to see these fucking jamokes. So he's getting pissed. He's like, "Come back, dude, come back." Now Rick's not just gonna give in like that. You think Rick's not gonna make this about him? You're crazy.
It's more distracting this way, so go back. No.
Rick,
Rick, what are you doing, dude?
what
What are you doing, dude? What's wrong with you?
Don't make more of this. This isn't my fault. Don't make me make a meal out of this. I'm sorry. I had one little thing.
Look at that.
Okay, look.
He's that good.
Let me ask-
He's that good, that fucking Glassman, dude. He is that goddamn good. And it's fucked up because he continues to make it a whole thing, right? Then he says he has this one little interaction right before he leaves. And it's with Kalila. And if you know any of the history between Bobby and Kalila, you know, she's talked a lot of shit that's made it seem like she's either done stuff behind his back or really wanted to or tried to get him into open relationship type deals. It's quite frankly, I mean, Bobby's in a better place for being without her, but you got to ditch her in this podcast stuff because check out how awkward this kind of situation is right here. Listen closely to this.
What are you talking about?
I'm
Rick,
glad it happened.
let me know
I'm glad
when
it
you
happened.
drop them off.
Okay, who's dropping what off?
I'm gonna watch Alvin. for
How is
the first
Sam?
time.
How is Sam getting home?
Look at that. You notice how she doubled back on that. So almost like while everybody's laughing and stuff, she tries to kind of like slip in this little like, hey Rick, let me know when you're getting ready to drop off the dog. Right? So immediately Bobby picks up on this. He's like, dog? What the fuck? Whose dog what? What are you talking about, dog? Who's dropping what? So now when Kalila goes to say something about it, she says, I'm going to watch Rick's dog for him. Right? But I don't know. To me, it kind of sounded a little strange. Because Rick lives in LA, Kalila lives in LA, Bobby lives in LA. So now, I mean, Rick might have just got this dog, but he didn't get him that afternoon. So has Kalila been hanging out at Rick's house? And Rick is so fucking powerful. Rick's like, I'd fuck this guy's ex-girlfriend. I wouldn't give two shits about it. You know what I mean? Then I'll go on his podcast. I'll trash the whole goddamn thing. Get her real fired up. Get her nice and hot. Because she sees all those laughs I'm going to get. She sees the way I fucking command that room. It's over. She's going to be in the back corner.
Yes.
Saying it ever.
Yes.
Saying it all, baby. Listen to this.
It was great. What are you talking about?
I'm
Rick,
glad it happened.
let me know
I'm glad
when
it
you
happened.
drop them off.
Okay, who's dropping what off?
I'm gonna watch Alvin. for
How
the
is
first
Sam?
time.
How is Sam getting home?
Uber.
I'm gonna watch she's fumbling. She doesn't know what. And Rick's out of there. You see Rick, he's out, dude. Rick's like, I am not sitting around waiting for her to answer that goddamn question. Look how
Right,
fast
well,
he gets
I-
at
I'm
it.
Rick,
glad it happened.
let me know
I'm glad
when
it
you
happened.
drop them off.
Okay, who's dropping what off?
Look at him. Rick's like,
I'm gonna watch
"Bing."
Alvin. for
How
He's
is Sam?
fucking
How is Sam
gone.
getting home?
Uber.
Goodbye.
You're
That's Rick doesn't even wait around for that. He's like, dude, this chick's blowing up the whole goddamn spot. Bobby's not supposed to know that we're fucking yet, girl. He's like, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Rick was so goddamn out of there. That's just good shit right there. I was very surprised that's probably the first episode of TigerBelly that I've watched in like a good year and a half, maybe 2 years almost. It's been that bad that I was just like, I can't even watch this shit anymore. Because it could be the same exact show, but now that there's the stigma of like, oh man, this is a guy who broke up with this girl who was a nobody before he met her. And she's so fucking strange too. And they're still doing this thing together, and they were living together for a long ass time, and she's still friends with all his friends, and you're crazy if you think that she wasn't out getting fucking plowed the second that they broke up. You're crazy. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Never be the same. Yeah. Oh, man.
And hold my fart like a bong rip.